everyone. Today I really wanted to show you how I created this painting. It's actually a mixture of print and paint. It's a really fun painting. For the painting that I'm going to do, I'm starting with a different color palette. I'm going to use burnt umber and yellow oxide with white and just make a variation of values with just those two colors in white. All right, here we go. The first thing you're going to want to do is either go find some leaves outside. You can use real leaves, or I did use some scratch foam board and created my own little leaves, little flower, and cut them out. So if you do this part, you want to make sure that when you are drawing your leaves, that they're simple. This type of leaf is going to be hard for your print because you don't have a lot of space there holding that together. So save this type of thing for another project. This works really well. All right, when you're using a scratch foam board, it's best to do a drawing first on some nice thin copy paper and then put your drawing down, tape it down, and trace your drawing, and you can cut it out that way. And then you'll get one of these little pieces. One other thing I suggest is when you do a leaf, when you're cutting it out, rather than cutting it right on the edge, if you have a little extra around it, you'll get just a little detail around the edge where it kind of looks like it's outlined. And that actually is a nice thing because you can put some kind of other little details around it when you're starting to paint. Okay. Keep scrap paper nearby so that you can use that to blend anything on, or use it to try out some of your prints. I'm going to start by mixing a little bit of color that I want to use in the background. I'm going to simply just kind of layer up some paint in the background. I'm using a little more white in certain places. This one I want to have a very neutral color palette here. I used a little tape around the edges so I get a clean edge. All right, I'm going to start with that for a background, and this is what my leaves are going to go on top of. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit. I let that dry for a little bit, and now I'm going to tape this down to the table because my papers are a little small because I'm doing a series of these. All right, now it's time for prints. I'm going to be using a scrap piece of paper so that I can test out my prints. And you also need something when you're painting the leaf or you're painting the foam. You need something to put it on. You can use a brayer. It's not really necessary as long as you have a nice big brush for this. All right, so for this one, I think I'm going to try a couple of actual leaves. Thought maybe I could even try that one. We'll see. And I am going to just go ahead and print. So it works best if you do the back of your leaf, and then you're going to get the details of the veins on the back. If you want it to be a little more plain, you can go on the front. All right, here we go. When you print your leaf, think about what else you're printing on there, and make sure that you're using a paper towel to go over the top. Okay, there's a nice little print. Now you can reuse this. You can wash it or just keep going with the same leaf. I'm going to try another one in here. Let's do the back of this one. And again, think of where you're kind of positioning these things. So if I want to try this, I might want to go somewhere maybe in there. So maybe I'll try that. And you do have to use quite a bit of paint on the back of these things. Pretty neat. All right, let's do another one in here. Some more of this one. I like this one. All right, now I'm gonna look at this. I kind of like that background space there. So I think I'm gonna leave this like this, and that's gonna be my background. Now I'm gonna wait for this to dry, and then I'm gonna add some of my own paint and pencil and all kinds of different medium to go with this. So I'll be back with you. I decided to add a little more right there. I just was thinking just some of that there. And just a kind of a faint little print. All right, and let that dry. Now when you start with the next step, after this is all dry, you can use several different things. You know, you might want to use colored pencils, you might want to use just a pencil, you might want to go back in with your paint. But if you can see in this one, I used pencil around the edge, and I kind of wrote some things that I thought were going through my head when I was looking at this. And I used little dips of paint, little dots of paint around the edges, and that's why I thought it was kind of neat to have that extra edge around the foam pour. And I also used colored pencil in there. So whatever you want to use, think of things that remind you of whatever you're doing and whatever intention you might want from this. And I kind of like to start with those little dots. Now that's the theme of mine. I take my little teeny brush with a little bit of water, and I'm gonna get some of my white paint, and I just want it right on the edge of my brush. And then I'm gonna go around in the darker spots and find where I can put these little dots. Here are two paintings so far. I actually really like the way this is without adding anything else to it. But I could add some words with some pencils in there. So whatever you'd like to do with yours. I just wanted to show you the finished piece. And here's the finished piece. I think it looks really nice. It's gonna look great in a frame. Okay. I hope you got some inspiration from this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.